What is up, Bears fans? Welcome to your Chicago Bears Huddle. I'm my own W. James, and this is your UK take on all things Chicago Bears. Guys, it is a victory Monday after the Bears made it 4 wins in a row against the New Orleans Saints at Soldier Field yesterday in what was a display that I think you can kind of put down that victory to two things. One, the defense coming up big time. Dennis Allen deserves a lot of credit for the work done to bring that D up to standard and to get the very best out of them yesterday. Some highlights and points to talk about in this video. Also, credits to Ben Johnson and Declan Doyle, the running attack, and Eric Bieniemy too, I suppose, as well. The rushing attack looked absolutely superb, going for over 200 yards. There were some downsides. We'll talk about those as well. Not one of Caleb's better days in terms of his passing, but the victory got it done. We go to 4-2, and things just look a lot better, guys. We're going into the Baltimore game next weekend. Can we make it 5-2 and start to look like a real team pushing for the playoffs this season? Look, it was a good performance. It was a good performance, not a great performance, not an outstanding performance, but a good performance. We got it done, and the D came up big when it needed to, shut down Spencer Rattler and the New Orleans Saints, and the rushing attack ground out that victory. It was a real ground and pound display from our Chicago Bears. I want to give a bit of a shout out straight away to some of the defenders. I mean, look, Dennis Allen obviously deserves a lot of the credit, for the work that he done, the schemes, obviously the different packages he put into place, the blitzes, the Kyler Gordon blitz that got the sack, some fantastic pieces of work there from Dennis. The D came up big. It really, really did. Montez Sweat ignited it all with that strip sack. Top performances. Tremaine Edmonds, yesterday looked like a real player. The player we kind of hoped we were signing, didn't he? The guy went 6 tackles, 3 assisted, 1 sack, 1 interception. He was everywhere, again, flying around, getting in everyone's faces, hitting people, sacking Spencer Rattler, intercepting the ball. An outstanding display from Tremaine Edmonds and also TJ Edwards alongside him with 6 tackles and 1 assisted tackle as well. I think Kyler Gordon, again, 4 tackles and a sack yesterday. Real clever defensive scheme by Dennis Allen to get Kyler Gordon into the backfield and get Spencer Rattler. Again, a clever scheme. It just seemed that whenever the Saints were about to get things going, the Bears stepped it up and brought the heat on D. A real quality defensive display by our Chicago Bears. I thought Jaquan Brisker also had a pretty outstanding game as well. DeAndre Swift, but I thought Jaquan Brisker also had a very, very, very good game yesterday. Was flying absolutely everywhere, getting involved, getting hits, getting tackles when he needed to. Got his sack yesterday, 4-2, broke up a couple of passes, unlucky not to get an interception. Nashawn Wright came up with an interception. Kevin Byard came up with yet another interception. I mean, so many takeaways again in yesterday's game. I mean, the Bears are becoming the takeaway kings of the NFL. But I think one of the more encouraging things there yesterday was the fact that the Bears brought the heat and got 4 sacks yesterday. The sacks were an issue. It was a situation we weren't doing very well, the pass rush. But Edmonds gets his sack. Gordon, Brisker and Sweat all bringing sacks for the Bears yesterday. The D really did heat up and bring the heat and slam the door shut in the face of Spencer Rattler and the rest of those New Orleans Saints. The one real other encouragement yesterday was the running attack. I thought the rush game yesterday. The rush game yesterday, again, with this man, DeAndre Swift. Swift, look, I've called DeAndre Swift out. He's come up big the last couple of games. Fair credit to DeAndre. Let's hope he can continue that. He proved me wrong. Well done, DeAndre. I love being proved wrong like this. Yesterday, 19 carries, 124 yards, averaging 6.5 yards per carry. That is a real headline figure. And getting a TD as well. Carmen Ungai, again, I thought was very, very good yesterday as well. 13 carries, 81 yards, 6.2 yards per carry, 1 TD as well. A quality performance, by our running backs. Not just, bouncing to the outside to get the yards, but also those hard ground and pound yards up the middle from the boys in the backfield. Over 200 yards, and considering pre-bye, we were talking about how the pass game was getting us through games and the running attack was literally non-existent. Well, you know what? The running attack brought it yesterday and it ate up time. It kept drives going. it looked great. And you've got to, applaud, obviously, the work that Ben Johnson's doing in scheming these rushing plays. And applaud D'Andre Swift as well for his work out there. Caleb yesterday was not good. I mean, he did not play well at all. The passing attack was not great. Caleb's figures, 15 of 26, 172 yards, 1 interception. The interception was pretty ridiculous anyway. He stared down his receiver and then threw the ball straight at the cornerback, which was not great at all. But you know what? Caleb's development is not going to be linear. It's not going to be a continuation where he just gets better and better and better. There are going to be hiccups. And what you've got to remember is this guy has only got 20 starts. He is still developing and learning as a quarterback. And yesterday was not 100%. Granted, the passing game yesterday was not great. In terms of team stats, 253 total yards, 386 total yards, 164 passing yards, 222 rushing yards for the Bears. It was the running attack that really carried the day for the Bears. So that is one thing that Caleb does need to, I think, he does need to improve, obviously, some of his looks, some of his reads, some of the accuracy of some of his throws as well. And it was not brilliant. Let's get this straight. The running attack did bring this home today. It really, really did do exceptionally well for the Bears today. Look, at the end of the day, it is a victory, 26-14. Yes, there are a few more issues. I thought the offensive line was not great today. I thought Theo Benedette struggled. And one thing that does need to be worked on is we need to get that snap right. How, again, do we mess up a couple of snaps and end up with fumbles? Yes, recovered, but still some bad fumbles from some Drew Dahlman snaps to Caleb Williams. Those two need to work on that relationship 1,000,000%. The one thing we kind of can take, though, we look at that game yesterday. The defense brought the heat. Dennis Allen did a great job for the Bears. Scheming some great defensive schemes, some great pass rush schemes, some great blitz, takeaways, all the essential ingredients of an excellent defense. The running attack is back on track, seemingly. Is working exceptionally effective, and Carmen Ungai and D'Andre Swift are becoming a really good 1-2 punch, and I'm made up for Carmen Ungai getting his first touchdown. But look, there is still development there needed. Obviously, we need Caleb to continue to advance with the passing game. That is something, obviously, that Ben Johnson, I think, will continue to work on this week at Hallis Hall, going into the Baltimore game next week. But look, one encouragement for me is this team are heading in the right direction. That was a game yesterday that was a trap game, a game that, we were expected to win, a game that we should have won, and we did do it. In the past, you kind of look at the Bears, they go into games like that where they're expected to win, they're expected to come out on top, and they blow it. But he did it yesterday. They did it yesterday. They won that game. Look, still areas for development. Nothing is finalised. I'm not going to sit here and tell you we're Super Bowl contenders. We're looking like the best team in the NFL. We're not. There's still areas to improve. The O-line, improvements needed there with blocking schemes, with the snaps. The passing attack does need to get back to where it was pre-bye. Caleb needs to continue his rates of development there. There are areas still to develop, but, the D came up big, the rush came up big, and that is the positives to take from yesterday's victory. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we're back, and I'll catch you on the next one. Please, obviously, if you've enjoyed the content, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and bear down.